Popescu, where are you?
Hi, everyone. I will start by telling you that our house is still on fire. Climate change is a global threat to economic systems all around the world, and we do not have much time left to turn this around. Companies, banks, and Wall Street investors must all start thinking about the effect that their investment decisions have on the environment. It was during my first year of master's in financial risk management that I started to wonder, how come most of what I learned in my finance courses is about how to make rich people even richer? I wanted to believe that the goal of an economic system is rather to increase the well-being of a whole society and to make sure that economic resources are spread between sectors without causing negative externalities on the environment. It was then when I decided that I want to do finance for good. And it was Robert Shiller, the Nobel Prize economics winner, who said, "Finance is not merely about making money. It's about achieving our deep goals and protecting the fruits of our labor. It's about stewardship and therefore about achieving the good society." Now, funds invested on capital markets reach as much as $100 trillion US. And these are money coming from super wealthy individuals, banks, pension funds, insurances, but also the saving accounts and investment accounts of people like us. Sustainable finance, it's booming, and it's going from a niche market to mainstream. It's about to reach 1/3 of the total market. And you see here in this graph that most of these funds are registered right here in Luxembourg. A sustainable fund is trying not only to achieve financial profit, but also to ensure that environmental criteria are taken into account. And some funds even aim to bring a positive impact. However, it's not only good news. There is a high greenwashing risk in the market. This means that the sustainability claims of investment funds cannot be certified. I'm a third-year PhD student, and the goal of my project is to design a tool to correctly measure the environmental impact of investment funds. How is this useful, you may wonder? So let's say you have 10,000 euro and you go to your bank and ask, "Can you please invest this money on my account? But can you also make sure that the companies that I invest in, for example, protect the rainforest, or ensure that the workers from the companies that I invest in actually have access to decent working conditions?" And your investment funds, your investment manager says, "Yes, sure, I will take this money and put it in our newly designed, super sustainable Europe Green Fund." And you say, "Oh, okay, that sounds great, but what's the impact of this fund?" And here is where the answer becomes tricky. Data on sustainability performance of companies is scarce, incomplete, unreliable, and often superficial. One of the greatest challenges for investment funds is actually managing the impact coming from supply chains of companies that they invest in. And in order to really improve the total climate exposure of a fund, investment managers need to also account for indirect impacts of companies. This is because usually the supply chain impact can often account for more than half of the total impact. What I am using is life cycle assessment methodology. It's a methodology coming from industrial ecology field, and it looks at a specific product or system and aims to quantify the impact not only from the direct production of a product or maybe the direct functioning of a system, but looks at all the impact triggered in a supply chain from extraction of raw materials, distribution, transportation, and also the end-of-life impact, such as the use of a product and the recycling process. So what I am doing in my project is to adapt this tool for the investment fund industry. By using life cycle input-output analysis, I am able to estimate the life cycle impact of a large sample of companies and funds and do that in a homogeneous manner. This is key for investors because like this, they can understand what are the holdings in their portfolio that are actually generating the largest impact and can lead them to better understand and manage this. So to conclude, in my study, I am using different data sources and interdisciplinary methods to develop a tool that is measuring the life cycle impact of investment fund. The end goal is to help investors better allocate their funds in order to reduce their environmental damage. And I think that the question that still stands throughout my research is how we can understand and maybe model the way in which investors can actually trigger a change in the behaviors of their companies as deep as down their supply chains. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you so much. That was